Hello and welcome to the regular Friday edition of Spurs Diehards TTID Tottenham Till I Die. Apologies for the late start. Tonight we will talk about the Chelsea game. We will talk about Getafe, do the predicted lineup. We'll do a bit of a tactical analysis of De Zerbi ball. And we'll start off, we'll talk about what's really not happening at transfer window, although I think there's lots of simmering. I think next week you're going to see a lot of movement in this transfer window once the dominoes start falling. So I'm going to start now. I'm going to introduce Alan from California. Al, what's the weather like out there?
It's 30 today.
30. My God.
You can see the sun on the side of his face.
Mm.
Yeah. It's warm.
Yeah. I mean, I struggle with the heat, so I don't like 30. I'm more like 21 degrees does me, 22 max. And Sean in Glasgow, how's the weather up there in the tropical north of England?
Yeah, a bit more atypical up here. A little bit of rain today. 4 seasons in one day, as they say. Well, 4 seasons in the lunch hour. Bit cold, bit warm, bit bit this, bit that. But just basking in the sunshine of watching Will Lancashire score his first goal for Middlesbrough tonight, and the winning one as well. Yeah, well done to Big Will.
Yes. Yeah, it's warm here in Enfield, Edmonton. I live in a mile and a half from the stadium. It is warm. I'm not a fan of heat. Anyway, I'll get into I'll get you guys' views actually. I mean, like on the take of the transfer window as well. Just want to go down the banners. Where to start? Where are we? This is probably good news, Al. This is for those of you listening. If you're not watching, there's got 35 of you already viewing us on various platforms, plus a few in the chat channel. He's verbally agreed. I think the signings have convinced him to agree to a new contract. So he's obviously going to get a big pay rise. He's only on about 90k, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy. I like Mickey Van de Ven. He's not irreplaceable, but I'm glad he's staying. I think he's a good player for us. Everybody knows how fast he is. When we got him, he's young. He's not that old, so he's still getting up there, climbing that hill, and I think he does very well for us. So he shows signs of leadership, which is something good. He's got a couple of teammates now, not only in Xavi but in Van Hecke. So he kind of has his little group that I think I saw videos of him with Van Hecke during the World Cup, and hopefully there's camaraderie there on and off the pitch. I hope that he is signing because he wants to be here. Obviously, that I would think that's why, not just the money, but because he wants to be here. He saved us in the Europa League. With that, keeping the ball out of the net at the last minute. He's got in him greatness, and I think we'll see. Hopefully, we can see more of that under De Zerbi.
Sean, your take on this?
Yes, it's obviously good news. He's clearly one of our better defenders. He looks a much happier person from what you see in social media. He's obviously got, as Alan said, we've got. He looks happier with Van Hecke around him. He obviously has a link with Xavi as well, and possibly, who knows, maybe Cody Gakpo to come. Who knows? It could be. We could have quite a little Dutch contingent at our club, you know.
Dutch mafia at the club.
Yeah. So it's it's all good. He definitely needed a pay rise. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit cynical, but I'm sure there's probably a release clause in his new contract. So
100 million.
So should Liverpool want to buy him, they know what they're going to have to pay us. And we'll see. I mean, he's clearly one of a very good collection of central defenders that we have.
If he's extended for another 5 or whatever it is, and then if it's a new contract, then with options, it's frightened off any predators anyway. There's no way this club. I'll stay with you, Sean. I mean, some Spurs fans will probably cheer this. I'm not cheering the price, but I mean, like Romero, now that Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid have just come in and this is virtually a done deal, even though he's agreed to wages with Atletico. That means he's going there.
Yeah, I suppose the only question is, does he come back to Enfield to pick his boots up, or does he go straight to Madrid? From wherever he's. I think he's in the Bahamas when I was looking at his social media. So I think we've probably seen the last of Romero. I did laugh at the links to Arsenal today. If he wanted to burn any further bridges with the Spurs fan base, that would be one move that I would suggest he takes. But no, I think it's just a question of tying up the loose ends, and
it doesn't take much to set the Spurs fan base off.
Good God, no! We are one of the most reactionary fan bases online.
Loyal, we're so loyal, but we're so volatile. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like at the moment, because we haven't signed anyone for 2 or 3 weeks. It's like, oh my God, what's happening? It's all going wrong.
There's time. There's plenty of time. I mean, it don't seem in days. It doesn't seem time because there's been a gap since we got our last signings in. I mean, and we know that the season starts on Friday the 21st because there's an evening game. So it's exactly 2 weeks. The season starts, but the window goes to the 1st of September. So you've got another 9 days after that. Well, we don't want to be bringing players in when the football season starts. You only do that if you start a season in the first week. 2 of your players break their legs, and you've got about 8 days to get a couple of replacements in. So.
That sounds like a Spurs pre-season for me.
Yeah, so if this guy goes, yet the club have mentioned the price. I've seen this price mentioned in banners, right? I get it. I mean, I know a lot of fans will go, yeah, I wouldn't give you 10 quid for him or 2 bob or whatever, or 5 cents or whatever. But in the market, there's no strikers out there, Alan, are there? And the ones of 3 or 4 that we've been linked with, they're all 70, 80 grand, 80 million players, So
yeah, I mean, if they're looking to not break the bank, we're only going to find, in my opinion, comparable to Richarlison. He scored a bunch of goals last season for us. He's already scored in preseason. I'm not his biggest fan, but I don't want to replace him with a like for like. I want to upgrade. We are able to upgrade on Richarlison. The question is, will we find that person, and can we convince them to come to Spurs? There are better strikers out there. And nothing against Richarlison, but there are people with more talent and able to put in more goals.
Well, we could, with that, I mean, like, this guy's been mentioned, Sean, Ferran Torres, 352 appearances. I get these stats off of AI and off a transfer market, guys. So if they're inaccurate, just throw pelts at me like you normally do, right? So yeah, so 89 goals, 41 assists, 120, 130, and that it's
for the winning goal in the World Cup.
Yeah, it's not for a number 9. It's not a great. It's not 1 in 2 even, is it? It's 1 in 3. It's over 1 in 3 actually for Ferran Torres. I like the look of the player though. I mean, yeah. So, I remember we looked at him when he was a kid. He was at Man City as well, wasn't he? He was at Man City.
He was, yeah. He was at Man City, and didn't really, he didn't set the heather on fire, as they would say up here.
Yeah. He's better than what we've got. I'm sort of like not so keen on him now, just because when I got the stats, I thought, hang on.
I mean, wasn't he a substitute? Wasn't he coming from the bench for Spain? I don't remember him starting many games. They
were playing without a 9. They haven't got no Villa or the other Torres anymore. When Villa was scoring all them goals.
So I want a starter. I want a player that's he's kicking the ball off, necessarily, possibly, and but it's there's nothing that convinces me that he's going to be any better than he was at City, and to me, he's dwarfed by a certain Nigerian player that's now currently playing in Turkey. So,
well, I'm going to bring him up anyway, but I'm going to go in the order. Alan, Vlahovic is free. I actually think in this window, what we're actually doing is we want to go and get Savino. Once he's got Savino's in, then we're going to go bang in for because we haven't with the time of the window. We'll go bang in for a number 9.
Dusan Vlahovic is. I know you've always liked him. I know you're a fan of his. He's on a free, right? Because he's out of contract with Juventus.
I just think because he is, and players know that if they've got an idea of their value on transfer market, they'll just go to a club. Well, I'm worth this. All right, you don't have to pay me the 300 grand a week or whatever it is, because I think the most we pay is 250. I think tonight we get 275 if we get Champions League football. We're getting more money, but his agent's going to want a big chunk of money, about 10 mil right? Vlahovic might think, well, if you ain't going to pay me the 300 grand, it's going to be 250 with promises. Then I want like 50 grand a goal, and I want a 30 million pound signing on for you.
That's fine.
We could do the deal.
We can do the deal.
People say we won't pay the money. I think we will, because we are.
Yeah,
he's not getting. And someone said he was on 400 grand a week. I doubt that in Italy. Them clubs are skin.
Yeah.
And how many years he been there? 2.
Getting him on a free seems like that would be the sort of thing. If someone really wanted him, he'd already be there, in my opinion. So I think everyone has sort of got him as second or third option on their list. I would rather someone like Osimhen, go big, get him from Turkey, bring him in. And if we can't get him, then I think someone like Vlahovic is solid. I'm not someone that thinks that you have to be Prem proven. I think it's good if you've got Premier League experience, but Vlahovic does not have that. But he's a very good player. I'm not taking anything away from him. The question is, will his experience translate well in the Premier League, and will he be able to score and assist the way he has before?
He's got good technique.
He's got good technique, and I know when he was a little younger, he was in much more demand. Around.
If this was Vlahovic leaving Fiorentina, I'd be a bit more excited.
Yeah.
But the experience of Juventus, which is obviously the bigger club in Italy, has kind of made you go, is he all that? It's
exactly.
And we've seen how Gyökeres and Sesko didn't exactly set the world on fire. So it's a gamble. I mean, as you say, technique. He's got everything. He's got technique. He's got a bit of pace. But has it done enough to convince me that he's going to be the next coming of Martin Chivers or something. You know, I don't
The
really,
heir apparent.
I don't really see it. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Let's move on to this guy, Endrick at Real Madrid. I don't know if you've heard, or those of you listening on various or watching on various platforms.
Now that they got Diamandi.
Right. Well, Endrick at Real Madrid. Real Madrid want to loan him out, so there's going to be a mad rush for this kid.
Mhm.
The Black Pelly, as he was called on one channel, I was listening today. Right.
Wow.
I don't think I've watched I haven't watched the video of him. I'm like, because stories need to go in with a bit of gravity, so I have to be a bit believable for me to go and get videos. And like 41 games, 11. I mean, that 124 appearances, that'll be senior appearances. I don't know if they're all at Real Madrid or whatever, because he's young, isn't
Hasn't he got some experience in France as well?
he? Yeah, that's probably some of these appearances are there as well. Yeah, you'd know more about him than me, obviously. Like, you know,
I just think that unfortunately I know where we are in the pecking order, and there are clubs above us who'll be more attractive to him than we are currently. You know, we've not got Europe.
Real Madrid don't need him, obviously. Barcelona, they'll probably keep Torres. I mean, like they don't need him. You know.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking in England.
Oh right, PSG, yeah, PSG and
Liverpool need him. Arsenal might need him.
I don't know. Liverpool, they've got Isaac. They've got forwards there. They've got forwards there.
Well, if you listen to the moanings of the Liverpool online, they're
probably busy listening to the moanings of Spurs fans online as well. Right?
I just feel this is one that if we were in the Champions League or in the Europa League, we might stand a better chance. And I just think without that exposure, you know, he's wary of coming to. I mean, you know, it may happen. It may be that no one else wants to take a chance on him.
You've got to have pace if you're a striker.
Yeah, but I mean, also, I think Endrick. I don't think Arsenal necessarily need him. They have Gyökeres and they have Havertz, and I know that Gabriel Jesus is looking for another club.
Yeah.
So I think anybody that comes in is probably third string for Arsenal, and I just don't see Endrick on a loan appearance wanting to be third string. Whereas I think for us, even though it is one game a week, it gives him Premier League experience, which I hope he sees as, you know, the best league to be in, the place to be to get exposure and whatnot. I don't think there's any place else he'll get the kind of exposure that he would in the Premier League. And coming into Spurs, he could be our starter. You know, maybe he's a starter or a second, depending on what other business we do. And that just, I think even if it is once a week, getting that kind of exposure is on a loan is probably really good for him.
Yeah. We'll stay with you as you brought this guy up. Yeah, look at his horrible stats. 338 appearances, 201 goals, 52 assists, Victor Osimhen. All right, it's in Turkey. I don't know how that league rates in the tier leagues in Europe.
Turkish teams are not they're not like they used to be. They're growing, you know, in ability and whatnot.
Tax-free money lures players, doesn't it?
Yeah, yes. Tax-free. As we know, it does. But look, I think the Premier League is the main stage. And I think Victor Osimhen is someone that deserves to be on the main stage. And I've said it before, I think we need to cast our net further out. We need to be willing to go big. You know, if we put in a nice big bid for him, I don't see anybody else going for him. Because Man City already have. They
were rumored to only want 55 to 65 mil for him.
Yeah, I mean, this is the difference. I think this is a club that's looking to sell
27, 28, isn't it? That's okay. I think that's okay.
You know, from all accounts, Gallo want rid because I think the wages become unsustainable in the end, and you know, I mean, he's a Serie A winner. He tore it up for Napoli when they won the title.
Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it, Sean? I mean, you had Kvaratskhelia, I pronounce his name, the winger there that went to PSG, and you had him, and they win the league under Conte, I think. And
no, I think it was under
Go on.
It was under the guy that was the Italian manager till quite recently.
Okay.
Oh God, his
I know
name
there was a
escapes
falling
me.
out.
Yeah, and we get a lot of rumours, don't you, about players' attitudes and all this. Or else you've got to do the due diligence on a player's psyche now, so you don't end up with another Ndombele, you know what I mean, or whatever. But yeah.
Talking of a Ndombele, it's Serie A winner with Napoli.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. We loaned him out to 2 teams and he won the title with both of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, probably a lazier style of football then. It's not as pacey as the Premier League, you know. So, yeah.
I'm not saying that he contributed much. I think he was mostly on the bench, to be honest, with his quarter-pounder meal deal, from McDonald's. But
but his stats here, Osimhen, they're mental. He's got to be like the 3rd best striker on the planet after Haaland and Kane, or Kane and Haaland, which is the way you want to put them around.
Yeah, Osimhen's up there.
Yeah. Would we take him? You know, when I first watched videos of him, when I watched videos, I didn't know his goal stats, right? I should always get them up first, right? I watched the video, I see most of his goals were in the penalty area. And when I watch videos, what I try and look for in players forwards is 3 boxes you have to tick with me, right? Because people say, oh, they always look good in videos, but it's not just that with me. I want players with vision who move the ball quickly, can make things happen. Like, you know, Sonny and Kane, they scored lots of goals out of nothing, right? They made them for themselves, right? He doesn't do this in the videos. When I looked at him, I thought, oh, I don't rate you. You're a Jonathan David type or whatever. You're just a tapping merchant. This is where you can get it all wrong. I mean, I come and see how many goals he's scoring. Wow. Even if that's indifferent, less impressive, you know?
Yeah. I see a comment that says that the problem with him is that he's very much money motivated. Aren't they all technically? I mean, they're all on huge contracts. They're all money motivated.
You don't know Osimhen's background. He's from Nigeria. There's absolute rank poverty in that country. I mean, it's part of the Anglosphere when it comes to Africa as well. So English won't be an issue for him, you know.
And there's 200 million people in Nigeria.
But 80 odd languages as well. So it's in the end.
Out of that 200 million, they've got 150 million con artists, right?
Yeah.
The stereotypical image of a Nigerian is that they're all crooks.
That's right. The scammers. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I have an uncle who has £1 million to put into your account.
Yeah. There is dodgier scousers, you know what I mean? So like,
no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Okay, so I won't get my sledgehammer with that because it shocks people. Stay with you, Sean. If we move to the Premier League, Rashford, 492 appearances, 156 goals, 9. It's mental stats for him. They are mental stats. Is it just the wages at Man United, or are we to believe something about his character that is not welcome at Man United? I don't get it. Why did you loan him? He won the league with Barcelona last year. He went to Villa, apparently did okay there. But Villa, their wage to revenue ratio was about 90%. They had to do something. So they obviously brought him on big wages, unless Man United were paying half of them. I mean, and he's really got. It's all right, a player saying, yeah, I want X amount of pounds, you know, I want to sign up and all this, but hang about, PSG don't want you, Real Madrid don't want you, Barcelona don't want you, Athletic Madrid, Bayern Munich don't want you, right? Your actual options to go to another, what you call a lower tier club than those, which would include Spurs in there, are very limited. He could go to Newcastle, I suppose they would take him. He could go back to Villa if they're not breaking FFP. Or he could come to us. I wonder if he'll be reintegrated with Michael Carrick at Man United, though, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, there's some talk that, you know, Carrick and him are having conversations, so we'll see. I mean, certainly, I wouldn't be against Rashford. I think he's a quality act, and you know, if we're serious about replacing on the left hand side, he certainly, to me, he's streets ahead of Savinho. So, but you know, again, it's does he fit the plan of, you know, De Zerbi and whatever the club have got lined up for this season? I would take him. I don't think it's a risk. I just don't think it's a risk, you know.
if we do the proper due diligence, Al, we need to know what the players are like around teammates and what his attitude's like.
Yep.
Well, we do the proper due diligence and he ticks the boxes. I'd take him.
I know I've listened to a bunch of Man United podcasts, and I think the sentiment when they had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in there, and they had what's his name, the Dutch coach. I don't remember his name.
Ten Hag.
And that he was kind of a disruptive presence in the locker room. And that's always a concern for me is, but De Zerbi is a very strong coach. He's outspoken, and I don't feel like he will ever let that kind of thing happen in the dressing room. The way maybe other managers who are slightly more passive may allow that kind of the players to run the dressing room. I think De Zerbi runs the dressing room, and I think they're all kind of afraid of him, which I'm okay with too. Everyone was afraid of, Sir Alex. So I would assume that someone like Rashford, even if he is a strong personality in the dressing room, would be able to fall in line under De Zerbi. And look, again, the benefit of coming to Spurs, I think he gets a lot of play time, and I think that's what he's looking for. But everybody is balking at his wages. Man United pay him, I think, a lot more than what he should be getting. They just put him on like $350, something like that. And it's just.
I think United are undergoing a bit of retrenchment as well in the wages. I think that's why they want rid of him. That's the one thing that's stopping him from being integrated back into the team. I think is that they're sort of going in the direction that we were at under maybe Levy. That they're having to cut their cloth, especially with a $2 billion stadium to build next door to.
And they were rumoured to want. You talk about the wages, but they were rumoured to want 30 or 40 million for him. Right? You're going to pay 30 or 40 million for him and then give him like 300 odd grand a week over a 5-year contract. It's probably that signing.
They're trying to recoup in their skin. The owners have kind of taken all out of that club. They're pretty skinned.
Okay, we'll move on to this guy. He's got decent stats, 122. And Liverpool fans again, as Sean alluded to earlier. They'll have a meltdown like a Spurs fan base, and some of them don't. You see, we can't really take notice of other clans' fan base because we know what ours is like at its worst, and at its best. But 122 goals.
I don't mind Cody Gakpo.
Yeah,
I think he's a pretty good player, and he 122 goals, 95 assists. That's nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's not.
And
it's a very good strike rate. In fact, very good
he's got a lot of talent. I think he is an upgrade on Richarlison. I think he'll put in more goals than Richarlison would. I don't know that. Again, not my money, so I'm okay with them spending it. But I just, but it's 70+ million because they're trying to keep away suitors, and is he worth that? If he puts in, 15, 20 goals a season, then yeah, I think he'd be worth the, that risk. We're not having to break the 100 million mark. Would I take him over Osimhen? No. But if we're not going to get Osimhen, then I would rather have Gakpo than settle on another season with Richarlison as our main striker.
Sean, would you take him?
Yeah, I think he's a decent enough player. I mean, I suppose it comes down to this: does De Zerbi see a place for him in his system? And I think we're going to talk about that later. But it's if De Zerbi wants him and they can see a place for him, and he's doing his Zoom calls. Persuasion, then maybe we can do that, and obviously you can get Van der Ven and Van Hecker and Xavi to talk to him, So it's all about does he suit the system? I mean, I don't know enough about football,
Mm.
football coaching to know whether he's going to work for us. But
I think there'll be a very good chance of us getting him if Liverpool do get Bradley Barcola from PSG.
Oh yeah, they're in the running for him, right?
Yeah. So, and if they said 72 million to me, if we have already getting Savinho, there's going to be a formal meeting with Man City next week. So if the Savinho deal gets done, it'll be done next week. So that's something. When it said formal, and I got that through Ornstein's crowd, the Athletic. I don't think it was him. It was one of them that posted. There's going to be a formal meeting between Spurs, and which means they're actually probably going to go up there and chat about it. So if Man City, I mean, all that them want another player. You go through their squad, they don't need another player, but they might bring one in. I don't believe all that rhetoric around, we aren't letting him go and all that. I just think like everything's been agreed with the player. The deal was virtually done last season. I just think it's the price. And when it's the price, I think it's the structure of the payments. I think that's mainly what it is.
With Savinho, you mean?
Yeah, with that one.
Yeah.
Gakpo, I would take it.
I think Gakpo too. Remember the team that he was playing on for a lot of his appearances. He has Salah on one side, and he has like Luis Diaz on the other side at the time. He's got a lot of talent on both wings who are putting in goals that they don't necessarily need out of him. Whereas we're going to depend on him. I don't think we have the Salah, Luis Diaz talent, equivalent. So we depend more heavily on him. So he may put in more goals than he could be more of a goal machine than we're used to.
Right, I'll just go through the comments in the chat. We've got a few regulars in here. It is Friday evening, so if you're all down the pub, good luck to you. Big up, Roger, good friend of the show. Yeah. Simon, another good friend of the show. Simon Small. Yeah. Big up. Yeah. Well,
we were just talking about that.
Well, look, Parrott improved, but it took time when he left, didn't he, for Parrott to improve? But now clubs in Europe are sniffing around, talks of 20 million plus for him and all that. We got a sell-on fee on him anyway, so on the profit.
Didn't he go somewhere for 30 million? Was it Leeds?
I don't know. I don't know now that he's left us.
Who? Parrott?
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually linked with West Ham.
Oh, with West Ham, that's it. Yeah,
with West Ham, because he's still with the Dutch side.
AZ
Alkmaar, yeah. Big up, unbelievable. Yeah. When he says he drops his wages, I think it's because he wants to sign in on fee. Big up, Scotty. Right, let's go back to the banners. Sean, not in the Premier League, obviously.
Who is this guy? I've never heard of him.
Not in the Premier League, the ongoing saga with Savinho, which I think will be resolved next week, one way or another. French team is with he was with Girona as well, which is basically a Man City feeder club. That's why they got him cheap to get around all their FFP. That's what clubs are doing, buying these clubs up. So it's a way to get around the rules.
How ironic.
Yeah.
ENIC, when they bought Tottenham Hotspur, were told to divest themselves of Slavia Prague, Glasgow Rangers, all these other clubs that they had stakes in, and were like, if you like, the first multi-club ownership, told to get rid of them so that they could have Tottenham Hotspur. And now you've got Chelsea who just bank all their players in Strasbourg if they can't get them in their team. City have got Girona, they've got Melbourne City, there's a New York team as well. I mean, the City football group is worldwide, and that, other clubs are doing it all the time. I mean, Tony Bloom's got interest up here in Hearts, and he's obviously the Brighton owner. It's madness what's going on. I wish they would ban multi-club ownership. To be honest, I think it's a scandal. It's a scandal for those kids because they signed for the parent club and they think, we're gonna get a chance here, and then they're sent to far-flung corners of the world. Yeah,
or kids coming into Girona thinking, do well here. I'll get I'll get
Well, at one point, Pedro Porro was in that system.
Yeah.
You know, it's madness.
I
Absolute
like
madness.
Savinho. I know he's Marmite because of his lack of goals in the Premier League and the games he's had. But to me, I mean, he's better than what we've got. And if De Zerbi wants him, and because he's fast, good, technically superb, I think he'll get a better tune out of him, to be honest. And I think he's coming, to be honest. I've just got my gut instinct tells me that this deal will get done. We might see a medical by Friday or Saturday or something like that. I think this is going to get done. But do you guys like him? Do you want him or what?
I haven't seen. I mean, I've seen his highlights, but I've never really seen him play. It kind of feels like Paulo Dybala, right? Like we're always linked to him, and we never get him. And I feel like with this,
Dybala's a player, such a player.
With Lautaro Martinez as well.
Yeah,
with quite a few bits back there. None of them wanted to come, and at the time, you couldn't blame them. You'd have to give them wages to even tempt them.
Yeah. I don't know enough about Savinho. You know, we're putting a lot of our eggs in his basket, and I just don't. He doesn't get enough time, you know, on the pitch.
I'm going to get into this, Adam, with Maddison, or I could talk about it now. They say we need another number 10 and all that, but okay, I'll start this now, Adam, as you brought this up, right? So apparently in training, what I've been told is that De Zerbi is playing with the back three. Right? Now, we'll get into tactical analysis later when Steve gets on, if he gets on. I know he's coming home from work, so I don't know if there's any hold-ups. Yeah, so to me, if you're playing with the back three, with the two fullbacks that push on, you've got Fernandes and Tarlini in the middle, you're not playing with a number 10, because then you've got your two wingers and your striker. This might be what De Zerbi's thinking. I've got no idea what De Zerbi's thinking. I've got a reasonable grasp with De Zerbi ball, or I think I have. I'm probably wrong. But playing with a back three, you don't necessarily need the number 10. Right? You don't. Unless one of your two holding midfielders is a number 10. And, you know, so unless one of Tonali or Fernandes was the number 10. Steve's here. Look, see, Kismet. Good evening, Steve.
Hey, good evening, guys. And I do apologize for my tardiness.
It's okay.
You know, having to work overtime and then being told you're going to be off at 2 and then you don't get home until damn near 6.
You must be rolling in it, right?
You would like to believe so. You would absolutely love to believe so, but no.
Yeah. I was just saying we haven't talked any tactics yet. We haven't talked about Chelsea or Getafe yet either, so we've got plenty to carry on with. But I was just saying when Adam just brought this up, even though he's getting worried about another injury, but just partly tactical. I was saying to the guys that I was told today that at the training ground, De Zerbi was playing with a back three. All right. So if you've got the wing backs pushing on, you've got Tonali and Fernandes in the midfield, two wingers and a striker, you're not playing with a number 10. It's a good option to have if Maddison hasn't got. He's got a slight hip injury, isn't he? That he's carried. It's not serious, but naturally, like you'd think he was on his on intensive care from some of the comments I've seen from Spurs fans, right. So that's just on that. We'll get into tactics a bit later. Just big up Nita, very good friend of the show. Just looking forward to the new season. All I want is for Enid to put long-term plan. Yeah, I think they've started well. Can't knock it.
Correct. They've started.
Right, so yeah, we're just going through players, and with that, players' futures. I believe under De Zerbi, this season, if you're playing and you don't shape up, you'll be gone. Right? This guy, I like him, but 7 goals and 2 assists is not nowhere near good enough. And he's going to have to, if he gets game time, he's going to have a good season, Steve, isn't he? Or he's going to be gone. If he isn't sold already, or he raises a stink and wants to leave, because we've had all them reviews about every player.
The excuse that you can make for Matisse Tel is he's 20 going on 21. And he was thrust into a bad situation a year and a half ago in the January window in a season that was already cooked, and the only thing they really had to play for was the Europa League. And so from that standpoint, you can use that as as an excuse, because last year, again, it was more of the same, and he was put in a position that was actually kind of a no-win position. I mean, he's a striker being forced to play a position that unfortunately is not his best position. And so from that standpoint, you look at it, but you also look at the improvement, right? For a player that's not his natural position, yes, the return probably isn't where you want to be. But that being said, for a 20-year-old kid that is coming from the Bundesliga over to a league that is far, far more physical, far more superior, and for him to be able to hang with some of the best players in the world for a year and a half, and you actually see the improvement, as far as I'm concerned, that's actually kind of a win if you're Matisse Tell. But you're absolutely right. Judging off the sheer numbers, for a Tottenham team that finished 17th place 2 straight years, you're looking for a little bit more production. But that being said, it's like, there's a lot more to Matisse Tell than the actual numbers itself. And so from that standpoint, that's what's been most impressive to me, is the fact that he was able to hang in the best league in the world for a year and a half, despite numerous challenges that's going on within that locker room. So from that standpoint, me personally, I like him. But yeah, I mean, if you're going off the straight numbers, you would probably think that, it's not good enough. But, there's a reason why De Zerbi rates him, though. He actually sees the upside.
Yeah. I mean,
and to be fair,
he's got a very good attitude. I'll give him his due. His attitude's spot on.
But in Tell's defence as well, what kind of midfield support did he have last season?
Correct. And it was a hodgepodge, right? You're absolutely right. That's a very good point right there. As a matter of fact, it really almost didn't get stable until Conor Gallagher got here, and even then, right? I mean, there's some fans that rate him, some don't, but at least Conor gave some stability to that, to that midfield. But again, you're absolutely right.
Alan, overload, like you say, I mean, we were so disjointed in midfield and attack. I mean, like that, getting patterns and play, it just didn't happen. And overloads just didn't happen. It was just like, and one thing I say about him, even in the preseason friendlies, when you don't make the right decision, is like, I thought at times he was trying too hard. He's blasting balls over the bar because he wants to impress, but he's got to, I think that bit of composure comes with experience, And I just think he lacks composure because he blasts at things, and you think, and he reminds me a bit of Lucas Moura, to be honest with you, who struggled then for that. But when he did hit it, I mean, we're never going to fit Amsterdam, but I mean, like when Moura did, I mean, he did score an hat-trick in another game, against Huddersfield or something like that, whatever. But it was
he scored the first hat-trick at the new stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think, like Steve mentioned, Matisse Tell's been playing out of position. He's kind of an inside forward.
Yeah,
he's not a winger. Yeah. And for someone that's playing out of position, he's got moves. I mean, we've seen him dribble between people and around people, and he's able to progress the ball forward. It's his finishing, which I'd rather know where their weakness is, so that, and he's got one area that, if he was in school, he'd have like a needs improvement. He really needs he needs improvement there. Scored a banger in preseason, right, against one of the, was it New Zealand? One of those New Zealand teams?
Auckland, yeah.
Auckland, yeah. From outside the box. So he's got the ability. He just needs, as you said, he needs time. And the question is he going to get that time? It seems like De Zerbi is more of a here and now kind of manager. He wants players.
He's not going to get the time he wants. He'll get game time. But if we bring Savinho in, and you've got Decky's back, I posted videos of him striking the ball with both feet, but both him and Kudus were doing runs the length of the training ground virtually together. They look fine. They just need to be tested in the heat of battle, basically, to see if they can stand up to their injuries. I mean, Kudus.
Well, at some point, you're going to get Odegaard coming back.
Yeah, and Kudus, that'll be January. Then he'll have to prove his fitness. So you've got Kudus was out for 7 months. Decky, who's my favourite player at Spurs, by the way, was out for 15. 15. So yeah. So
I mean, he just needs. That's kind of why I'm questioning the Savinho. because we've already got a project like that in Tell. I don't know that we necessarily need someone at a similar caliber. And maybe Savinho is the golden child. I don't know. He doesn't get enough time at Man City for me to come up with an opinion of him one way or the other.
Neither does Phil Foden, though, does he? Or others, Marmouche. That's how much quality they've got.
It's more of a look than Savinho.
And they got Cherki, and they got Doku, and they got Semenyo. I mean, you got Reinders. I mean, they've just got a Monger in from Leicester City. I mean, they've got in the front six positions of their team, they've probably got about 10 players. You know, and they talk about, we need to get a No, that's a bullshit story. We need to get someone in. They don't. No, if anything, they probably need to offload a few players.
Yeah, they do.
You know? Chelsea have got 10 central defenders. 10 central defenders.
Before the season starts, you have to name your 25-man squad. I think we've got 21 foreign players instead of 17, but Solomon will go. That would reduce one. We'll see if Saar goes. That'll be 2. Then I don't know what's happening. Right, just some news for you guys. 100 of you listening on various platforms, which is brilliant. Mickey van der Ven's agreed to sign a new contract, so he will. He's obviously happy with the club, and he was on about 90k, so he's probably going to go up to the 200k a week, right? This is virtually done now that Atletico Madrid have come from there. He's agreed the wages and all, and he hasn't even come back yet from the World Cup, so he might just, as Sean said, come pick his boots up and then go.
Yeah.
Right?
He wants to be there too. So.
Yeah, he does. And he's with his mate Simeone.
Or we'll send them by DHL to Madrid.
Then Richarlison, if he goes, because if we don't get a number 9 in, we could well go into the new season with two strikers, and Solanke's homegrown and on a longer contract. So I don't think as he's homegrown, he's not going anywhere. Club apparently want 25 mil for him. I think that's that today's market. When you look at the strikers in the Premier League, any of the teams coming up, although he'd probably want a team of the quality of Everton or something like that, or he might say, "No, I'm staying." You can't force him out. You can say you're not going to play it or force him out. You can. That's what the clubs normally do. Well, if you stay, you're not getting any games. Yeah.
Well, for a 29-year-old striker that can at least give you anywhere between 10 to 14, 15 goals. Depending on the context, 25 million in this striker market is an actual steal.
Yeah, it is. You could see him go. I mean, he's learned English, would rather stay, but you would definitely get that for him if he went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
and I think you'd still get that if he went abroad for clubs that need a striker, because it's such a dearth of strikers out there now. Steve, I'll stay with you on this. This is a bit annoying to me because. If Spence was to go, we don't know yet. We've not heard it. At least he hasn't said anything or come out. There's nothing quoted from him. Rumours are he wants to go because he wants to play on the left. Well, the other season we didn't have a left back, and now we've got about 6 that can play there. Right? So, but to Liverpool, they said 35 mil, and I'm going, hang on. If they played 40 mil for Kirkus with 5 million add-ons, Spencer's a 50 million pound player. He is easy, isn't he, Steve?
It's interesting, right? Because it just depends. It just kind of depends on the timing, right? Even good left backs are in that 40 to 50 million pound range, right? I was having a discussion, about 2 years ago about Anthony Robinson of Fulham. This was before the knee injury, where he was kind of making a name for himself, and he was essentially linked to every big club in England, and the going rate was about 45 million. And, I actually consider Anthony Robinson to be like one of the best 3 left backs in the Premier League. And yet, that's kind of the price range for an upper echelon outside back, as far as I'm concerned. So, for Jed Spence, having the last year and a half that he's had, being now becoming a full England international and having the World Cup, that little bit of a showcase. I mean, 40 million, 45 million. For Jed Spence, for a guy who's essentially a role player for Spurs, that's actually pretty good money for him.
Yeah. What did Cucurella go for recently?
To Real Madrid. Good question.
That is a good question.
Anyone in chat got it? I mean, because I'm just trying to get an idea of what good fullbacks go for at the moment. We know that Kirkus went for 40 plus 5 million add-ons because we were in for him. I know we're
55
taking
million,
him at the time.
around 60 million euro in total.
So that's
Let's see. It is 55. So it's 55 million euros, and it looks like it's 47.4 million pounds. Yeah, 5 million add-ons. So yeah, so
and I actually think that Spence has got a bit more physicality. He's definitely got the pace because him and Udogie, they're only the second slowest players out of VDV. Yeah, so yeah, so I think we'll see. Maybe he'll decide to stay. Let's move on.
It's not bad.
We've got some comments. I'll go through the comments. Right, don't want to ignore you guys. So big up, Nito team. Yeah, on the young players. What hasn't helped, I think we'll have a pathway now if we don't bring in any 18 and 19-year-olds, because don't forget, we brought in Turl, didn't we? We brought in Odebert, we brought in Gray, we brought in Bergvall, and they're all like 18 and 19-year-olds. Well, then you don't get a pathway. Now, it looks like that will change. I hope it does, because I'm a big supporter of the academy.
And then, you look at the academy graduates that are moving in. We had Lancashire up for a little bit, who got sold, but you also have Mike
Moria. He scored the winner today.
Yeah, and then you have, Luca Williams Barnett. So, I mean, we are producing academy players.
There's Steve's comment here. Alan and Steve's links to their channels are in the chat channel, and I will post them at the end of the game in here. Right, okay, so you got... Yeah, true, Steve. Just seen that Mikey Moore. Yeah, he's going to Cologne on loan, right? And if you're talking about Williams Barnett, he can't go on loan because he's only 17 years of age. You've got to be 18 under British and EU law, I think.
I believe so, yeah. That's kind of a stupid rule, if you ask me, that young kids have to wait till 18, especially foreigners coming into the Premier League. They got to wait till they're 18.
They can't change in a men's changing room.
The men's changing room.
You talk about a professional body and Spurs like sport, and you think like, well,
Yeah, we have young kids in America that are getting starts at
in this country with coaches and young kids at different clubs. We're not talking about a professional club like Spurs, where there's been people have been arrested for
issues,
deviant behaviour. We'll put that one right.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand.
I'll take Foden, Rain. I would take Foden. I've always been a big fan of Foden. Yeah, and this is. I mean, Rain will know that I alluded to it in the Spurs chat channel that Mikey Moore. I wouldn't be surprised if Lucas Williams Barnett's in there as well, simply because if Solomon is going to West Ham, you won't see him in the lineup tomorrow. You wouldn't want him to get injured, would you? So, and I think he's going. It's too cheap a deal not to turn down $5 million with some add-ons if they get promoted or whatever.
He does well for the championship too. Did well for Leeds to get them promoted.
Yeah, you'd have thought they'd have come back from as well.
Yeah,
it was a bit of Spurs yet, and he shouldn't be considered. No, he shouldn't. And even when he comes back from his injury, he's got to prove that he's injury-free. So you're looking at any attempt to go for Krupa would have to be done in the summer. You're getting a lot of clubs. They're going in for young players now before they become untainable. And by that, I mean before they get big price tags attached to them.
Yep.
Let's go on to Rain again. Yeah, I want to keep him, but I want him playing on the right. Some people like him on the left. No, we've got 6 we can play on the left now. You've got VDV can go there. You've got Sousa. You've got Udogie. You've got Davies. You've got
Robinson,
Sousa. There was 6.
I have to say, Adrian, I'm with you. I think Spencer's we bought him on the basis of the work he was doing on the right side of the defence at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
And the only way we've been able to shoehorn him into the team is at left back. And at left back, he completely disrupts De Zerbi's system.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a left foot to cross.
Yeah.
We'll get into tactics and analysis later, because that's a very true statement. I know Steve watched the videos. Did you watch the videos, Al, that I sent you?
Yes.
You did. So you have some idea, right? So I was watching De Zerbi well before, just because when I go to games, I want to look down. I've got very high. I'm in the gods on the East End. So when I look down, I like to look for patterns of play. I like to look for things like that and see what we don't. You know, and you see the odd free kick or a corner, you think, they worked on that in the training ground. You can tell sometimes, you know. Yeah, so what's it like? Yeah, but Nita, you're right. But the same instance, you have to bear in mind that for all the elite clubs, even in the Premier League, you know, about less than 3% of academy players make it to be a part of their 25-man squads. It's rare. I mean, you get a Kane come through. Look at all his deals, all his loan deals. He was rubbish. He comes to Spurs. Sherwood gives him a go. Levy moans at Sherwood while you're picking Kane over Soldado, and the rest is history, right? So yeah, he's got a few more to go through.
You know, I would argue that we are developing academy players because over the last couple of years, you've seen a lot of these high level academy players that are a little bit too good for the Premier League too. But you know, they have a role in the first team, and you know, they're just biding their time, or they're getting moved out. I would argue that Spurs are actually doing a really good job with their academy right now.
Maybe, well, this will only be a fee or whatever. If it's on hold, I think Mikey would go. He would go to Cologne. It's another. Is up in a level from the Scottish Premier League if he goes to the Bundesliga. Maybe to do.
I was hoping he was going to go to Dortmund, to be honest, but you know.
So that's the team FC Cologne.
Yeah.
Well, what you want to go to? I mean, I don't know nothing about Cologne, but what you want the player to go to a team like when he was at Rangers, when he's at first stint at Rangers before they changed the manager. Like he didn't enjoy playing under that manager for whatever reasons. Right. I don't know what he's told to do or not to do during a game.
It was the old Southampton coach.
Yeah, you've got to do the due diligence where the player goes. I mean, Dortmund might be a better fit. I don't know what their squad is. What game time is he going to get there?
I think the sticking point was that Dortmund wanted an option to buy, and Spurs didn't want that.
No.
I wonder how Cologne would use him, because that's also the same team that has Said El Mala.
Yeah.
Well, El Mala plays out on the left for Cologne there, right? So I'm curious about how they would deploy him.
From what I read, that they're going to play more as the number 10.
This is why when you get the loan, it's not what you think. Oh yeah, a bigger name club or all this. We haven't done the due diligence before, and it's like, okay, they need a player of your caliber. They need you, right? We haven't done it before. You know, Scarlett went to Ipswich, never got any games because McKenna got them promoted, never got any games. We've made some awful loan deals, and a club has to take a rap for that as well.
Well, yeah. Do you know what? For me, the worst one was Yang. He was actually getting game time at Portsmouth, and then we sent him to Coventry, and he played 4 minutes.
Yeah,
correct. That was terrible.
And that's under Lampard, who's not averse to giving kids a game. So, again, some of these fringe players like Yang and Takai, I think he had a slight injuries when he was out in Germany, didn't he? So Takai, the centre back, didn't look awful in pre-season when I watched him. He did what he had to do. I mean, I don't know what you expect, unless you're expecting centre backs to be like a Pele or something, or Messi or Ronaldo.
Franz Beckenbauer from our day, Adrian.
Takai actually had a lot of time out there last year on loan in Germany, but yeah, he was in and out with injury though, for sure.
Johnny Tottenham breaking like has been put on hold by Tottenham. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'll look at it later.
Johnny Tottenham.
Yeah, see if we can find out a reason why you're getting away with it. So we finish that. Let's see what's happening. No, we're not. We're not. And we'll go into a tactical analysis. We will go into that. We might do that next, actually. Just confirm. Not Cologne. Is that what they're called now? Is that a change of name then, Rain?
Yeah, no, it's the same team though. You know what I'm saying though, Rain.
Yeah, it is the same team. Yeah,
same team.
Semantics, Rain. Semantics. He'll be on Sunday's show, Rain, with Harry Scott. Why Spence got only 5 journeys, 85 games at Spurs? Well, because he's not an out-and-out striker, is he? Hold on.
Because he's playing on the left, but he's got predominantly 1 foot.
He did score against, funny enough, Coventry in the League Cup. He did. Goal. When they absolutely paralysed us for the whole game, and yet we nicked 2 goals. He got one Johnson chip.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he scored in the dying moments of that League Cup game against Coventry, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but that was a different Coventry. It wasn't
Sure.
Lampard's Coventry.
Evening, Carl.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, it's Carl Slim Blue, aka Audio Artisan. How you doing, Carl?
Let's talk. We haven't spoken about the Chelsea game, and it seems light years away when we do a show on Friday that game was played. Well, there were positives to take from that game, Sean, wasn't there?
Well, the positive is that we beat them.
Yes.
And that is a rarity. That is a hen's tooth sort of thing.
Let's rub it in. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I thought for a lot of the game, I thought we were second best to them. To be fair, but we actually improved when we went down to 10 men, and I thought defensively that was a very, very solid performance, and we nicked it at the end. And those nothing stirs the soul more than a last minute win against a London rival, even if it was on the other side of the world. So, yeah, I mean, there was. I have to say, I think we were talking off air about that might have been the last time we see Kevin Danso, because there's links today with Scalvini in Italy, who plays in Danso's position, and you could see when he came off, he realised he'd made an absolute hick with that. Yeah, and I love Danso. He's a solid, dependable pro, but you've got to be you can't afford to let the ball go under your feet under the De Zerbi system.
He's done it in other games when he's trying to let the ball come across his body. Well, you don't mind Maddison doing it because he does that to lose a play and switch the angle of play like. But I don't care if that's a bobbly pitch. He should have cleared that. He shouldn't have tried to be fancy. You know what I mean? Which is what he tried to do basically, and it's not his strength. So he'll have learnt by it. Might prove to be very costly for him now. And as for going for another defender, look, possibly if we get a couple of forwards in, we may late in the window, but the defender shouldn't be a priority now, should it?
It shouldn't be, but who knows? Who knows with the as I say, if something becomes available, we may have a suitor for Danso. I mean, I'm sure a lot of Premier League teams who are going to be around mid-table. We stole him from Wolves. He was about to sign for Wolves, so it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility that was the moment when it became thanks Kevin, but we're moving on. I need a more dependable centre back.
The Chelsea game. I mean, it took us 50. They were a better team for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then we took over that half.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like we were going to continue in the same way until Danso gets set off 3 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, for me is when Tonali scored. That's when it seemed like we were doing pretty well. And then we let that goal in, which again you're alluding to with Danso. No. What am I? I'm thinking of a different game.
The goal we conceded was straight from our own goal.
Our own, yeah.
And that was
Bergvall lost the ball on their penalty
That's
area.
what it was. Right.
They broke quickly, coming off the left. The ball took a deflection from the cross. Dan Robinson, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fans were blaming him, but I thought they ran 2/3 of the length of the pitch or more, 3/4 length of the pitch, and then he's run in, and when you pipe blank, you're hitting it goalkeepers just go like that, don't they? And hope that they stop it or get a hand on it or whatever, and he scored. Yeah, so
we were kind of in the ascendancy, I think, especially when Tonali scored. It was nice to see Tonali put his first goal in for Spurs. It was a really good goal.
Off of a Chelsea defender.
Yeah. Well, you got to take him where you can get him. But
go on.
Well, just that it was, as Sean kind of pointed out, we ended well. In the end, I'm okay if they had more of the possession as long as we won the game. And I think that, we showed that we could outlast Chelsea, and really, even with 10 men, that's saying something. Chelsea, they've got to be, I know they were super not happy with the situation, because, when you're playing a London rival and then you go up a man, would expect to be put to the sword. But they couldn't do it. And with all the money they spend and all the efforts that they have a pretty good youth academy also, and they just couldn't do it. Yeah. So
we showed good character, Steve, didn't we? Kingsley was outstanding, as was Ben Davies as well.
Yeah, listen, if anybody had any lingering questions about Big Tony Kinski, all they had to do was watch that 10-minute clip right after Danso gets sent off, and all of a sudden Chelsea brought pressure forward, and there were two absolutely phenomenal saves that Kinski made. One of them was point blank, where he had to get his hand up just to kind of deflect it over the bar, and it was just a phenomenal save. But the thing that I loved about this was the confidence that this team actually has going down a man, where the last 2 years this team folds and concedes goals, and all of a sudden we end up losing 4-1. It was the okay, so we lost a man. Let's just regroup and let's go ahead and stay within our game. And from that, you just saw them slowly building in the counterattack and slowly getting forward. Their passes were absolutely precision, especially in the midfield. And what's interesting is Adrian actually sent me a video that absolutely broke it down, and I was like, "Oh, that's smooth clean," because I already knew that De Zerbi likes to attack through the middle areas of the pitch, but it's the way that they utilize space and draw defenders out when defenders are trying to actually box in certain midfielders, and just the way that the ball progresses. It's absolutely beautiful. But one of the things that they did not do was they did not put their head down. They did not, they did not.
He made four exceptional saves. The one that came out and that he pushed on
was great.
Was deflected anyway, and then he pushed up and go. That was a world class save, but the other saves were good as well. And Davis, he stopped a certain goal in the first half when second half when the player run through. He's just caught up to him and got the ball away and put him off. I think it's that Pedro, whatever his name is,
João Pedro,
João Pedro, yeah.
João Pedro.
It was. This
is timely interceptions that go unsung as an unsung hero for Davies, because he's captain of Wales. He does quite job at the back, and he did okay. Now, obviously, we'd like a younger version in, wouldn't we? I mean, we all would. Heads went up. Why is he getting another year's contract? Well, he's just filling space at the moment, because we're not going to fix everything in this transfer window, are we?
Correct. But what I liked about it was a preseason game, and they refused to lose against Chelsea. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but they bunkered down, and you saw Chelsea getting frustrated when they were getting forward. They could not break down Spurs whatsoever. And what was interesting about it, then you just start seeing the little things getting forward, and then of course it's Richie right there in the dying moments, and it's all you wrote. I absolutely love seeing that. After these last 2 years, it was awesome seeing that. And the confidence in the group in preseason, I can't wait for the season to start.
Quick plug for the channel. 130 of you viewing us on various platforms, and we've got some of you in the chat as well. If you like the content, obviously quite a few here, you're staying with us. You obviously do like the content. The guests are very well informed. Well, I'll always bring you good guests, well-informed guests. You can see that red subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. If you could hit the subscribe button, give the videos a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. That'd be a big help. Helps the algorithm. Big up to everyone who's watching us on playback as well. Like, I've got Steve and Alan's links to their channels are in the comment section, and I'll post them at the end of the show. You can find us on the ticker below, the moving ticker. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on XCOM, and obviously you can find us on YouTube. Right. With that, I want to go through these first before we talk about tactics. Right. Sarr rumoured 35 mil. The club want. Villa and Brentford are interested. Just go through that. De Zerbi's had a word with Bergvall saying, look, stay on to January, we'll get game time. I'm not sure if the player's convinced him whether he will stay or whether he's sold. The links with Sousa have gone a bit quiet, but it was Porto and Benfica.
Actually, the link today is that he's staying.
Yeah,
and actually that puts up a bit of an intrigue, Sean, doesn't it? Because if Spence was to go, Sousa did play on the right against Liverpool. And I think he's right-footed anyway. Yeah,
he's definitely left-footed, but I think De Zerbi sees him as a possible inverted winger, like Kudus. And as we know, Kudus is on the way back. I'm not. I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of Kudus, but I'm in the minority of one there. You know, I think
right there with you.
I think he often holds on to the ball too long, and then his passing is often underhit.
I didn't realise.
And I have to say,
his numbers are very good, though. His goal scoring numbers are very good. Although he hasn't done it for Spurs, but don't forget we were shit last year. So, yeah. So Sousa, well, he had a tough back to Santos in Brazil, didn't he? Because they only barely avoided relegation. So he's been
Sousa and Robbo for left back.
Yeah, you doggy as well.
Yeah.
easy, I'm sure you know that Ashley Phillips is virtually a done deal to Middlesbrough. A deal that could work out up to 20 mil, but I think it's 10 mil or 12 mil paid for him or something.
That's where Lancashire is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he scored the winner today, didn't he, against Wrexham?
Mm-hmm.
Banger. Solomon 5 mil to West Ham. This is interesting because whether this is going, I mean, Amelia said, yeah, no, it's fallen through. Yes, you know what they are with Spurs. This deal's going ahead. No, it's not. It's going ahead. No, it's not. We get all that palaver. Well, if he doesn't start tomorrow's game, I think that'll be a big clue that he's going. He's going anyway. We're not keeping him. He's got to be one of the foreign players taken off the books. He'll go. Mason Melia, we got him from St. Pat's. He's gone on loan to Lincoln. Mikey Moore. Rain will come up me because I pronounced it as Cole. Right? And this is actually Steve's link. And this is Alan's link. Now, let's see how much we've all grasped of this De Zerbi ball we're going to talk about. Let me get the banner up. Here we go. De Zerbi ball. Tactical analysis. Now, I've watched other games with De Zerbi at Brighton and all that, but I actually got 2 tactical videos down from people, and I post them to about 30 podcasters and about 20 people that in our WhatsApp group and things like that. So you watched them, Sean? Yeah, the videos I sent.
Yeah, I watched them. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Watching the one that the first one you sent me about it kind of made me feel quite enthusiastic. But I have to say, subsequently, I've watched one by John McKenzie of The Athletic, and I haven't sent that to you, but it kind of it kind of negated that. So I still think De Zerbi ball is a bit in transition because a lot of teams kind of counteracted it, and he's had to change his system, and whether he has the right players is. Well, I really recommend the one by McKenzie if you can get it. It's on the Athletics website because it kind of says that does Tonali play the right role for a De Zerbi ball? So it's in the end, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm confident that he'll have some answers, but I just reined back a bit. Having watched the video you sent me, I thought, oh yeah, this looks good. And you saw elements of that in the game against Chelsea last week. But there are teams have cottoned on, and they have new pressing patterns which De Zerbi has found difficult to get round. So wait and see.
Yeah, I've got a different take to that. Alan, what did you make of the videos?
I mean, it fills me with hope. I remember watching him at Brighton. I watched some of the old games for Brighton, and I watched for Marseille. I like his tactics. It's sort of, we've seen so many weird tactics. We played Ange ball, which was kind of like all out attack. The best defense was a good offense for Ange. We've seen some weird stuff. We've gone through a bunch of coaches. And I like De Zerbi ball. I like what De Zerbi is bringing to the team in general. I think there's a level of stability that I think maybe they haven't felt since Ange. Ange was a very good man manager. And I think losing Ange destabilized the team. And there was a lot of disquiet. And I think De Zerbi's kind of bringing all of that back. So just in general, I think I'm very happy with having De Zerbi with us.
Well, we will get into the nitty gritty. Steve, you picked up on what I picked up when you messaged me when you said, "Oh, you loved the video." There was two. It depends on whether we're playing with a back three or playing the 4-2-3-1. But under the 4-2-3-1, it's like there's a diamond midfield, which looked good,
Correct.
didn't it? You want to explain what your take on that diamond midfield?
Yeah, the best way that I can explain it is that it requires precision passing, short passing, utilizing the space that actually gets created when you draw defenders off. And what that allows you to do is it allows you, number one, to get up the pitch as quick as possible. But what it does is it opens up the back line, and it allows outside backs. If you're playing with a back three and you have outside backs, it allows them to actually become forward attackers because there's going to be gaps in the line. And so we saw that a few times in that match against Chelsea, where the ball gets progressed from a center back forward to a midfielder that was either boxed in. And what ended up happening was when the ball gets to that left back and all of a sudden a defender draws, now all of a sudden that midfielder will run 5 feet to his left in open space, and the ball progresses right there. And so from that standpoint, that midfielder has two options: either carry the ball forward or progress it forward again. And you'd see Richarlison drop deep, just a little bit drop deep, and the ball will hit Richarlison, right in that center position. And from there, you have 4 different options: either play it back and the ball goes forward, because you have 2 different outside. You have a striker moving one way and an outside back moving another way to the posts. And so essentially what ends up happening is once that ball hits that top of the triangle, it draws defenders and it spreads back lines that allows those runners in. And so you can play a ball over or you can play a ball through. And so from that standpoint, you looked at the way that Chelsea was trying to defend us by essentially boxing in our double pivot. But naturally, where the ball progresses, naturally a defender is going to go to the ball. And what that ends up doing is it creates space, and that's how the beginning of the midfield diamond works. And it's just short passing, precision passing, quick balls right through the heart of the midfield. And essentially, what it does is just designed to break lines. And we actually saw it at Marseille when De Zerbi was at Marseille, and we've already seen it so far in the preseason. But I will say that as a tactician, you've seen the growth and reverted De Zerbi from his days in Brighton to now here at Spurs.
Yep.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched preseason games, and I've seen it before when he plays. They do this in Italy as well. He plays that block of 4, right? So you've got your 2 centre backs, then you've got your midfield pivot in front of them. That's like a block of 4, which is like the base of the diamond anyway, right? And what then is you get, because you've got the block of 4. If you imagine, so then you've got, if you say midfield, you've got Tonali and Fernandes. Either side of them, you've got your fullbacks have pushed up. So you've got your 2 centre halves, 2 of your centre halves, right? And then you've got the 4 there. So they've pushed up. So then you've got your 2 wingers. You've got a striker, and then you've got Maddison. Mm-hmm. If you play with a back 3, if Maddison's injured, you can play without the number 10, because you can have the 3 at the back. You can still have the 2 fullbacks and the 2 holding midfielders. We're called 2 central midfielders, Tonali and Fernandes, right? Which gives you your 7. So you've got 3 more players. So if you've got your striker and 2 wingers, you can play without a number 10. You can actually play without a number 10 in case Maddison is injured. I know there's been talk of Decky and Kudus can play there and all that.
It depends though, right? Because if you're playing a 3-4-2-1, I guess technically underneath you're still playing with a 10 though, correct? Depending on which side you're gonna play with them, right? So
well, no, you could. What I'm saying is, you could play without the 10, because if you've got two centre backs, then you've said you've got Tonali out in front of them with Fernandes, and you've got your fullbacks are pushed up. That's 6 players. That's 6, isn't it? So maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, I'm short player short. Yeah, you've still got you've got the 2 wingers and the 10. And in the videos you were seeing like so, but with the 2 in front, say it's Maddison and Solanke in front. What in the videos was saying, you've now got a block of 6, and you've got an overload on the opposition if they come to press you.
Sure, like because when the top of the apex drops deep to make that touch and numbers get forward, yeah, they're essentially attacking with 6 at that stage. You're right about that.
And you're drawing them forward as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you're drawing the opposition where they don't want to be, their defenders forward. So, I mean, look, all systems work and they all fail. What I've seen about it, I mean, most football, when you watch it, I'm not a coach or a scout or anything. I scout videos, that's all. But most what happens on the pitch, it's all about overloads. Whether you're in your own penalty area going forward, overloads in the midfield, overloads across in the opponent's half. It's all about overloads. They can be 2v1 overloads. They can be 3v2. I like the passing range, and what I'm sure you have got this from these videos, Sean, that if you've got a player in your team that's limited passing, he's not going to survive the Zerbi ball, is he?
No. I mean, as I say, there was
under threat. I think he's really under threat in this team.
I think there's there is much to be commended. I'm just putting it out there that there are people who say that there's he's going to face new issues that he didn't have when he was at Brighton. In that the pressing game has changed slightly, and he's going to be forced wide, and that's where we're going to have to improve our ability to get to create overloads. He's in the wide positions, and that's possibly why he's looking for a Savinha and he's looking for the Gakpo, because they offer more to his system. But we'll see. I mean, I'm genuinely excited. I'm looking forward to the season, but I'm not gonna go all in and say it's not going to be Billy Nick's push and run, or is it his adoption of push and run or whatever. So we'll see.
So how long is Maddison going to be out? I'm sorry for interrupting. Is it day to day?
I think he starts the season. He's got a slight hip knock, right? So I think he's had, all his twisting and turning he does. Maybe it's something to do with that. Who knows?
So,
Alan,
you're looking at Conor Gallagher in that position, correct?
Well, yeah, he's probably the only one fit and available, isn't he?
Just curious.
Unless you bring Bentancur in the team, but he don't play up there, or Sarr. They've tried Sarr on the 10 before, haven't they? But you know what, De Zerbi, he likes Gallagher. You get rumours, Gallagher's going to go. I remember one of his comments said, when Gallagher's on the pitch, you're playing with 12 men. So he likes his engine, obviously. He's not the sexiest of players, let's be fair. Yeah. Alan, on De Zerbi ball, right? Now, we know we will still get overloads. But what I found striking in these videos for me was the fact that you're a centre-backs that draw the player on. As soon as you draw that player, your other player has to move and make themselves available. So you're still available, right?
Yep.
That gives your centre-back a chance to pass it out. So now you're not using overloads. And if you do that when players keep coming to press you and you're good passers, you don't need the overloads because you're passing your way up the field.
Yep. Yeah.
Passing you up the pitch quicker.
What was cool is the space that they're creating.
Yeah.
I think that was probably for me the most exciting thing. They're moving, which is getting these guys moving late, which creates space. And basically, I guess in the nutshell, he was saying, if you create space, use that space. So they're creating space and someone's moving into that space, and that was it's kind of exciting to watch and to see that diamond shape constantly not being able to be broken down in the middle. Was pretty cool, for sure.
Well, we are going to get the stray pass and the move's going to break down, obviously, because that's football, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's a question of the reset. What I've noticed in other games, Steve, is like when we lose the ball or they've got it right back down their end, our forwards press like mad, and the other players are supposed to virtually go and man mark the opposition just to make it awkward for them to, like, you know, get any patterns of play going. Right, I've noticed that, and I've noticed that he definitely loves pace. He loves that ball hitting. He loves to get the ball hitting behind defenders. You know, if you had a very young Ollie Watkins, he would be perfect for De Zerbi ball, I think, because like he loves to run in behind. You know, so that's what I noticed as well. And he likes his wingers, and you see the wingers stay out wide, similar to Ange Ball as well. You know, they stay out wide, so this helps because it helps stretch the width of the pitch, doesn't it? When you're trying to play through, so you've got more space. You know, so. When you look at the video, you think this looks so simple. Obviously, like it's a bit different to actual.
Yeah, but it's constant movement that that actually is the space creator. But you actually just touched on something, Adrian, that I think is important. And you're absolutely right. This is almost like the way Pochettino used to require, that he actually wants guys to be able to run for days. The ability to essentially continue to press forward, and we saw that toward the end of last season as well too. We were winning a lot of balls up high after pressing to the point where we actually created a lot of chances off of it. But I will say, and we've thrown out some names, but the one name that I think is going to benefit from this is the guy that already has an insane work rate already, and that's Dominic Solanke. And I know that fans are kind of hit or miss on Dominic Solanke, but the dude has an insane work rate, and he does all the little things that would suggest that there's going to be opportunities for him to score goals, especially from those turnovers after the counter press right there. So from that standpoint, I'm looking at it like, if we can actually match him with that pace on the outside from wingers as well too, there's a good chance that we're actually potentially, if he stays healthy, that we might see a very special season from Dominic Solanke.
Yeah, it's a bit hard for us to explain to people that aren't even viewing the channel. I mean, I haven't got a tactics board up, or I'd be moving little counters around and things like that. But probably badly as well. but I mean, like, I'm liking what I see. I mean, I noticed something before I watched any of these videos. I noticed that in the games, I've seen the two centre backs on their own, in like halfway in a defensive halfway up the pitch. He doesn't park the back four on the halfway line like Potts used to do. There are differences in the game,
Sure.
Different, yeah. So I'm quite excited. I'm going to the Hoffenheim game, and we're playing Gaddafi tomorrow, and I think that's a good. Let's talk about Gaddafi, right?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Apparently, they're one of the dirtiest teams. I don't know.
This is from Terry Gibson, who knows a bit about Spanish football.
Okay, go on.
He says Getafe is the last team he would have picked for a pre-season friendly, because there are some shins that are going to be bruised to buggery tomorrow. So, watch out for. You thought Conor Gallagher's challenges against Chelsea were pretty fierce. From all accounts, Getafe relish a battle.
Is this an opportunity against Getafe, understanding that this might put certain players in danger, that Roberto De Zerbi would kind of rotate a little bit, maybe protect certain guys?
Some of the fan base on shows think like this is the time to show the team you're going to play against Brentford, but Porro's not back, Spence isn't back, right? So we know
next week is the team for the start of the season. I think this is still rotation week.
Hoffenheim on the 15th, and then that's a cheap friendly game at the stadium, and then on the Sunday after that game we've got Hoffenheim again. I haven't got a clue why we're playing Getafe and Hoffenheim, right? But the only thing I can say on Hoffenheim is that I mean, like, this is next week. We know we're playing Gaddafi tomorrow, so it's Saturday the 15th of August, 3:00. I'll be there, and then Sunday at 12 noon at Hotspur Way. There's the game. It's just, I mean, I look through when we get these teams we can play friendlies. I'm like, I'm going to go and have a look at your squad because you must have someone we want. I couldn't see anyone in Gaddafi's squad.
Adrian, I got to run.
Okay, Alan, thanks for coming on.
Great to see all of you.
Cheers.
See you next week,
Take
Al.
care. Come on, you Spurs.
Yes, come on, you Spurs. We'll see you next week, Al.
Absolutely.
There's only this guy I think we could, Kosovan is on Hoffenheim if we were interested. And I think anything to do with him, that there was a rumour, well, it was a tenuous rumour way back. But I think unless we're bringing in 3 or 4 players, we're not coming in for someone like him either, right? So let's have a look at the squad. Let's have a look at the predicted lineup. Right, yeah. I've left Solomon off because if he's going to West Ham, they're not going to let him get injured against Gaddafi, Sean, are they?
You'd hope not if you're trying to protect your bottom line, as it were. But yeah, it's it would be interesting to see who he does play out there, because I mean Solomon has had all the minutes so far on the right wing, so
this is going to be interesting tomorrow, because I don't think, I mean, obviously I would like to see Senesi get a half, right? Obviously. I mean, and we talked about the fullback situation. We don't know what's happening with Spence, whether he does want to go or not. And as a Spurs fan, he wants to go. I think maybe you do if it's game time. But then if that's the case, then maybe Sousa will get. If he likes Sousa, maybe he'll get a game, and that'd be interesting to see whether it's on the left or on the right, or get half a game. You know, is he going to risk VDV? I mean, I think Ganso could get a game, because he's expendable. Right. Really, he's expendable. Like you say, I like the player. Don't get me wrong, but we know he's 4th choice now, right? So, and we'll pick our squad. We'll do the usual goalkeeper, defenders, blah blah. In a minute, just want a little chat. Porro's not back. If he was, so I've put him in. Spence, I don't think Spence is back either yet. It might be Monday or something, or Tuesday or something. I've had the 3 weeks. When I did the maths before, something like 9. They were definitely like 9 days before the season. Well, 9 off of 21 is about. It's a few days yet, you know. So who else we got? Bergvall. Well, apparently said I'll give you game time. Look, stay until January. See how you feel then. So maybe he will, maybe he won't. Personally, if we got offered 60 mil, I'd sell him. I like the player, but it's not the point. Bentancur, he should be back now.
So Bentancur is back. Yeah, he's
back.
He's due some game time, as is Sarr. Fernandez has got that slight knock. Madison's got the hip. Solani did what he scored in the last game. Gallagher can run forever like Sarr. Richie and Solanke was so off it against you. I mean, and I'm not talking about his fitness. I'm talking about the sharpness as well. What comes with your fitness, you know, the clarity of mind to do the right things, get in the right position, blah blah blah. Not overhit or underhit passes. You know, he was really off it. And Tell was bright, but okay. So is Kinski going to get a rest tomorrow, Sean, or is he starting? We'll do it.
Well, maybe Dubravka. You haven't got Dubravka there, have you?
Couldn't fit him in. That's what happened. I couldn't fit him in.
I think he'll get a half. Yeah, I think he'll get a half, and maybe Dubravka will get the other half. I would certainly,
Austin did have one half. He did all right, didn't he, when he came on?
Yeah, I mean,
he's the ex-under 21 goalkeeper, but for England, but he is 27 now, I think, and he's homegrown, so he got.
Yeah, I think. Well, to be honest, from here onwards, it's Kinski, Dubravka are the 2 choices, I would think, for De Zerbi. So yeah, I think in goals it'll be a half for each tomorrow.
Steve, your goalkeeper tomorrow?
Big Tony Kinski. And you have to make sure that his sharpness is 100% before we start the season. And so from that standpoint, you're going to give him as many minutes as you possibly can, barring some type of injury, whatnot. But that being said, if he's your number 1, then you're going to do what you can to get him ready for the season. So he's starting to
young Rio Kira Martin who's actually, when you watch the under-21s, as a midfielder, who's done a sterling job in both fullback positions. You can see he's got touch and poise. He hit the bar against Chelsea, didn't he? Ball clipped over. Poor sod's done his hamstring in that game. I don't know what grade one is. I don't know what grade one. Let's hope it's a minor one, right? Because they grade these hamstrings. So he'll be heartbroken, I should imagine. These kids, they just love playing football. So fullbacks, guys, I mean, like, bit thin. VDV going to play left back or what? Is Sousa going to get a game?
I don't think so.
I think Robertson gets a pick.
Oh, on that, guys, let me just remind you, I was told there's like 140 of you on various platforms now, which is fantastic. To let you guys know that I was told today that they were training with a back three at Hotspur Way. And this might be because of the fullback issue. You know, we might not, you know, I mean, you got Robertson there and Sousa. You got VDV that could play at fullback, and that's about and Gray as well.
Yeah, but if De Zerbi had any inkling that Van de Ven would be an option, we probably would have seen it at least a few times, even in small clips in the preseason, and even last year we would have potentially saw it last year, but we didn't. The interesting thing. That's the thing. It's like who's the starting left back week one, match week one? Who's starting? Udogie?
Yeah, if he's fit. Look, I think he's been protected like Maddison as well.
Yeah,
and like you can get that. I mean, we know,
but he's got to get.
He always talks up players, and with Maddison, it could be just psyops, basically, like saying he's injured because he just don't want to play him and don't want to risk him. And I get that, right? It could be that. I mean, I don't think it's a very slight knock. You got to give. Frankie can miss a game with a sore throat. I'm pretty sure that
right.
Maddison can miss a game with a slight.
You got to I understand protecting Udogie because at the end of the day, the man is brittle. I understand you got to wrap him in bubble wrap, 100%. But you have to actually get him minutes and prepare him for the start of the regular season. So maybe this is a half and half type of situation, and maybe it's Udogie first half, then Robertson second half. Or maybe I don't know, like which half is going to allow him to, I guess you can say, essentially be out of harm's way. Is that going to be in the
it may not necessarily be a back three, because I've also seen De Zerbi ball when he plays. You have three defenders hanging back, either two centre backs and a full back, while the other one bombs on like Porro. So I've seen that as well. So there's still quite a bit to pick up on De Zerbi ball. Yeah. So fullback, Sean, you got any clue? I'm not sure. I don't know. Really.
No. I mean, it's
you got Robertson, Sousa, Davies could play at left back, and David is Getafe at home. Davies could play at left back. He had a good game against Chelsea, but I mean, I'm just thinking about there's not.
Yeah,
much,
but he was playing centre back against Chelsea, though, wasn't
he? Yeah, there's not many games left to give players a bit of game time. Sousa, I think he came on a sub in one of the pre-season. Might have been Milton Keynes Dons or something like that. I can't remember. But if we're keeping him because we don't know what's happening with Spence, then he needs. I don't know.
Sousa hasn't done any minutes in pre-season because he was allowed to come back late because he had a family issue back in Brazil.
Family issue, that was it. Yeah.
So if he appears tomorrow, it will be his first minute. So I don't think he's going to get 90. So he's going to get 45 minutes at the most.
But we're just trying to fumble our way through. I wouldn't surprise me if it was Robertson and Sousa. Gray doesn't want to play. I think he'd be in midfield. Gray doesn't want to play fullback. I wouldn't surprise. I mean, I'm going for Robertson and Sousa, and that is
yeah, maybe Sousa coming in late. Me personally, I think VDV, Porro, the guys that are going to be coming in a little bit later, those are probably going to be that second Hoffenheim game where they're going to get a bulk of those minutes right before the start of the season. I think for me it's going to be Robertson at left back and then Davies at left center back.
Starting centre back, Sean. I mean, we know Senesi needs a half. We need to look at him, don't we? Whether he starts or not, I'm not sure. I think
if we play a back four, I see Van Hecker and Senesi starting. And then
I think all four centre backs are going to get a half. I don't know who's going to start. I think they'll all get half.
I think I know a lot of people were concerned about Van der Ven, spending last Saturday on a bike after the pitch. But I think that was good. That was good work by De Zerbi, because he's just come back from a World Cup where he was playing at left back for Holland, which is a position which is much more vulnerable in terms of his own injury issues. And I think it was quite wise for him just to sort of be eased back. But I think he definitely sees Van der Ven as a centre back. I don't see him playing left back for us unless in an emergency, we're down to 10 men or whatever, or something like that. So I think I see Senesi and Van Hecker playing the centre backs if we're in a four. Right back, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to see. I know that a couple of seasons ago, pre-season, Donnelly filled in at left back. So, but who knows what's happening to Donnelly? He certainly seems to be not done himself any harm with his pre-season performances. So
it's the right back here, unless he brings a kid in. Right, it's the right back. Kieran Martin, unfortunately, is injured. Maybe, I mean, he could bring Malachi Hardy in. He's very composed on the ball, and I think he has played at right back. But unless he brings a kid in, you've also got the other two defenders, Tingy, Ty Hall. So
yeah, I think that the right back is the one
to do that. Yeah, because if I don't know what level of fitness Sousa's got after being away. He hasn't had any pre-season. We're right at left back. You got Davies, you got Robertson. That's not an issue. But right back, it's you're pistol in the wind trying to pick someone. That's why I put Sousa in, because I thought, well, he played on the right away at Liverpool, didn't he? But he played in front of the fullback.
Yeah,
right midfield, right attacking midfield. Yeah, and he was brave going forward as well in that game. So yeah, okay. So we're not too sure. It might be a kid, yeah. Centre back. Yeah, go on. Let's see.
I can see a rotation of Gray starting for a little bit as the starting right back, and some rotation with some of the youth kids.
Yeah.
Specifically for this, I mean, Gray can play and be consistent at that position. I believe that's where. Correct me if I'm wrong. He actually played right back against Chelsea, correct?
Yeah.
Did I see that right? Yeah, I thought so. And so from that standpoint, if you need him to fill at least in another week before you get to Hoffenheim and Poro's back, getting some of those minutes, that's it. That you can get away with it. I don't think that Danso rotates in. I can't see that, but I really could see maybe a center back pairing of Davies and Danso to start, or Davies and Senesi, and there's going to be rotation throughout at that center back position. I can see Davies starting at left center back for sure.
Well, we've got 3 games to give Senesi some time.
Right. Senesi's a left centre back as well, though, so that would have us two left centre backs. Yeah.
Correct. I mean, I'm talking about rotation, right? So Davies will start, and then Senesi will come.
So unless you play VDV at left back, which I don't want to see, I know he does it for Holland. When I've tried to do it, then it just looks so clunky when he's there. I mean, well, maybe that's because we've been shit, though. So midfield, don't know if Fernandes is fully fit. He had a slight knock a few years. Don't even dream of risking him against Gaddafi, right? Don't dream of it in midfield where it gets hot. And he had them words with Bergvall, guys. So I'm expecting, if you really want to keep Bergvall sweet, unless that's just bullshit and you want him out the door, I'm thinking Bergvall's playing. So, but Gray did a good job alongside Tonali. Has done a good job alongside him in a game before.
What is Betancourt's status for tomorrow? Is he available?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in all week.
He's
He's
gonna
been
get
in all
half.
week.
He'll get a half.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would like.
Start.
I think that we're going to see Betancourt and Gallagher starting,
Yeah.
and then we'll see some.
Well,
Maybe,
that's a good call. That's a good call
Yeah.
because because Betancourt did well with Paulinho last season towards the last 7 games. I mean, Betancourt alongside Tonali is a good call.
Yeah, and with Tonali potentially getting a half, and then we'll see some rotation. Although I will say that, do you think that the De Zerbi with Bergvall talk that he was talking is a negotiating ploy to potentially drive up the deal by saying that we're going to take him off the market, that type of thing? So teams are actually potentially going to
The
bid
talk
higher.
was, I think this is what we've heard on a report. The talk was he's asked him, look, if you're worried about getting game time, stick with us to January and then you'll know. So he's virtually saying you are going to get game time, right? So
Right.
how much game time or how many games he starts, who knows? And it's a question whether Bergwell's happy. But if we got to January and he wasn't happy with his game time, but the team's flying and we're in all 4 free competitions, that can also persuade a player, hang about, I'll wait to the end of the season, we might win something, because teams that come in for him, I mean, we've got Forest, Newcastle, and Everton, wasn't it? Who else? Was it Everton? And there was a rumour price Spurs won't sell for less than 60. So they obviously like him. I like the player, but I've seen him give the ball away in critical positions and things like that. It's just, but when you take the cameo, you get Hugo Films do cameo clips. When he was at fault with that goal against Chelsea, I thought, you had a real shit game. When I watched the cameo of him on the ball and what he did throughout he didn't. He actually had a decent. So like, I was in the mud.
To be honest, for me, Bergvall, much like Sarr, was sacrificed on the altar of Frank.
Yeah.
Frank killed so many of our players last season. I mean, it's a wonder that he gets away with. Frank gets away with murder compared to what Ange got away with.
Yeah.
And Ange actually won a trophy, and we were never near a trophy under Thomas Frank. So I'm
when he's good, Bergvall though, he won that ball when he come on the second half, didn't he? He took it off the play and we scored the goal because it was his tackle that won that ball. He got a nice header from a through ball from Romero when he scored against West Ham away. That header. He does drive forward. He likes to get forward quickly. He does drive. He's not a dribbler, but he sort of like sidesteps and goes past the player, sort of like that. I mean, but he also gives the ball away a lot and some in very dangerous positions as well. As when I've seen it, right? Well, he's talented, but would I be upset if we sold him? No, not really. I was more upset over Vuskovic going.
Yeah, but Sean brings up an excellent point though, because there was a difference between the way Ange used Bergvall pushing forward and actually allowing to use his pace and creativity, even if it was raw, allowing him to get forward and actually trying things and even failing at some points. But that's the thing. It's like Ange actually trusted him to play his game that suited to his strength. And when you looked at what Thomas Frank was asking him to do, which is be far more reserved, far more conservative, and be far more defensive, and he never wanted Bergvall to go forward at all. And that's the way that Thomas Frank wanted most of his midfield to operate. Whereas you're there to receive and pass to the outside. We're going to be ultra conservative in the way that we're going to play. You don't need to push forward. And I think when you're asking a 19-year-old kid that has been used to developing in a certain way, and then all of a sudden he's asked to do something different that he's not equipped to do, it's going to derail him a little bit. And I would probably assume there was times last year where his confidence was low because he just wants to play. And so from that standpoint, it's like I 100% agree with Sean on this one, that, he not only killed the confidence of a guy like Bergvall, but also perhaps Sarr as well too. And especially at the beginning of that season when Sarr started off absolutely on fire. And then he gets taken out of the starting 11 for no reason.
On other shows, what I've seen is like there's those that are big fans of Bergvall, And others are actually saying, what's he actually do during the game? What's his end product, you know? And like, he's definitely a talent. There'd be no shortage of, because like
he's a ball progressor.
Yeah, he is, and they're rare. And they're rare. I mean, he's not a ball progressor like a Gascoigne or Dembele, rather. He's not.
Yeah, like if you get blown away with an offer,
and they didn't, right? Basically.
Yeah. If you get blown away with an offer of like 50, 60 million pounds, then you got to say yes. But that being said, it's like you see the upside in a guy like Bergvall, and the thing to do is move him on loan to a team that is well known for developing these young talents that are cultivating, different skill sets, right? Like a move to Dortmund would be absolutely perfect for a dude like Lucas Bergvall.
Yeah.
The only issue, I think, the only issue with
price tag as well, if he were to go, which would be a good deal, wouldn't it? To be fair.
The only issue with Bergvall is if we loan him is that it cuts across his homegrown status or something, or his club trained status. If we send him out on loan, you know, so
yeah, mate, you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
Adrian's the one that knows the rules about homegrown and club trained.
We've got 7. We got Austin. I'm sorry, let's start at the top. You've got Solanke, Madison, Gallagher. That's 3. Gray, 4. Danso, 5. Austin, 6. And I'm missing 1. I'm missing 1. Yeah.
Scarlett?
No. Spence.
Yeah.
Spence. 7. So when we get down, if we're already banking on Europe this year, which I am, then, you need 8 for that. But it's not super critical. No teams have got 8 homegrown. And all it means is instead of having 17 foreign players for your ECL squad, senior players, you lose 1 for every homegrown player that you're below the number 8. So we've always usually had 6, and we've only been allowed to register 15 for like the Europa League. But that is only relevant if your academy level players are shit, because 24 hours before a game, you can list as many under 21s as you want. It doesn't have to be the same list all through the competition, but you have to list that 24 hours before the game. In the Premier League, it's different, because remember that in the Premier League, Davies and Dyer weren't classed as foreign players, but they were in Europe because Dyer did his youth football in Portugal and Davies was in Wales. I mean, these rules need straightening out, don't they? They really do. Right.
Well, the only way you straighten that out is if you get rid of international football, and I don't think Steve will join you in that call.
No, you align the rules. You just have similar rules. But getting, UEFA and RFA to agree on something would be a rarity. Right.
I don't know. They're pretty much agreed on Infantino.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done, isn't he?
Yeah. I wish. I'm not sure. I'm not so certain.
Points here, but then we're waiting. We're waiting. This is why, if he's kept and Tell's kept, like, I mean, they won't be their own one under De Zerbi. Like, if you don't show enough this season, you'll be gone. You'll be gone out of this club. About time we got ruthless, right? Yeah. And we need to see more of Sousa, don't we? And this is the ideal time to do it, because otherwise we're not. Otherwise you're going to loan him out or sell it to Benfica or Porto. And if he's sold, that's fine. If Spence is staying, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's well liked though, and he's disliked. I mean, he's not hated though, Bergvall, is he? Like Romero. Right, just going through the chat. So we've got our midfield. I think Tonali will start again. Could see Gray alongside him if he's not a fullback. I think Bentancur's a good call. I think we're going to see Bentancur tomorrow.
I do too.
Yeah. So
it's kind of
notice that he's been linked with moves away though, Bentancur.
Yeah.
From all accounts, He's going to
He
join
only
Romero at Atletico Madrid.
He only recently signed a new contract, didn't he?
Mm.
His name at Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, I mean, there's so much hype in a transfer window. Like we're left with Scalvani or something, a defender. Look, let's be reasonable. We need to fix the forward positions before we worry about another defender. We're not short of defenders. We've got 12, I think.
Correct.
Let me roll back. I've got a banner on this somewhere.
Yeah, but maybe De Zerbi says, hold on, if Dancer's going to do that in a pre-season friendly, I need to. I haven't fixed the back four. I haven't fixed the back line.
Well, Davis can play at centre back as well, so you've still got 4.
I don't think that mistake is going to cost Danso. He actually really is a solid squad player back there.
He's going to be first choice, isn't he?
Yeah, it's not a bad dude to have there in a pinch. But I will say that if a midfielder does go, whether it's Sarr or Bergvall, you're going to have to get another midfielder through the door. Yeah, I mean that's on top of the 2 forward players we still desperately need.
I'll go when I get through this chat. So front 3 guys. I'll bring you the list of how many midfielders, defenders, and attackers we've got. Yeah. Got a few of these to go through. So who's playing up front? I think we're bringing the kids in. Solomon won't play if he's going to West Ham. So Solanke or Charleston will probably get half each. As for left wing and right wing, this could be Mikey Moore and Lucas William Barnett. And the only thing I'm sure about is it's going to be Richie and Solanke probably get half each.
I don't know. Like a good part of me thinks that Matisse Tell will start again on the left, maybe just for a half.
I think he has to start.
Correct. The right wing is going to be interesting, right? Because I just have the feeling until he's actually moved to West Ham that Solomon will still continue to get minutes there, and then they're going to rotate.
I think Mikey Moore could play there, or Lucas Williams Barnett, or Tell can play on the right, and you could play Mikey Moore, Williams Barnett on the left, if you think that's the better shape. Sean?
Well, you could have Sousa there. You could have Sousa on the right wing. You know, it's hard to do. At the minute, it's kind of like
that's not outlandish, actually, to have him there.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. You're just grappling in the dark, isn't it? It's you're not going to be sure until an hour before kickoff tomorrow. You know, I'm surprised that De Zerbi didn't do a press conference today, but I suppose it's a pre-season friendly. But it's yeah, I'm just looking forward to watching us play. I love watching my club.
Yeah, the other player, Spencer, that should be back, but I think for the Hoffenheim.
Yeah, I think the rest of the players will be back this week.
Yeah. So Spence and Porro just shows you how much we missed them.
Romero will come through, pick up his boots, and say, "See you later."
Yeah, it'll be adios, amigo.
Ciao.
Yeah. Some might use stronger words. I'm just going through the chat. I'll show you a list of the squad. Yeah, that's the point, Steve. Just going through the chat. We're not going on for much longer. So
that's a very strange deal. Everton buying Norgard.
Off of Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really weird. To me, it's weird. I mean, although interestingly enough, of all the top players this is a lesson to us. Of all the players that left Brentford at the same window as Thomas Frank, how many of them came to Spurs? None. They all went to other clubs. That should have been a warning. That should have been a warning.
Yeah, you've had a couple of them have done well. I mean, even going back to Ollie Watkins.
I mean, Norgard is going to be a Premier League winner. He's actually got a medal. It's bizarre.
Visser at Newcastle, he hasn't exactly set the world alight, has he?
No, but he didn't want to come to Spurs.
No,
Yep,
fine.
and Bemo goes to United, Norgard goes to Arsenal, and it's like it's incredibly telling that the success that they had under Frank at Brentford didn't translate of coming to Spurs on a discount. Yeah, they wanted to play football.
Right, that's the chat done. We'll finish on this. Right, let me scroll down. I'll let you know.
Lukaku.
This is like we got 10 defenders: Van der Ven, Udogie, Porro, Robertson, Van Heck, Nessie, Kevin Dancer, Jit Spence, Ben Davis, and Sousa. Right? Why we'd want to go in for Scalvini? It's just like if we did that, we'd be going backwards as a club like we did before because we need to fix the forward line. And I left.
Yeah, but if Danso goes, then he might want a replacement.
Mm.
And Scalvini is an advance on Danso. I'm sorry, he is.
Well,
he's a better player.
Well,
but
so is Ben Davis. So is Ben Davis.
But if you're selling Romero,
Robertson can play at centre back as well.
But if you're selling Romero, you're not going to sell Danso, correct?
Yeah.
You're going to have to at least have a competent backup right back, correct? Right center back, correct? You're not going to sell them both. Yeah, you're not going to sell them both.
Well, that's Van Hecker.
Yeah. Someone's going to have to go in midfield because we've got Maddison, Gallagher, Javi Simmons when fit, Tonali, Gray, Bergvall, Papsar, Bentancur, Fernandez. We've got 9 midfielders and Decky's not in here because I'm assuming Decky and Kudus will compete on the right because we've got so much in midfield. Or for the 10 if Maddison breaks down, right? So, I mean, everyone's writing off Papsar on this list. So there's one to go. We still got a lot of midfielders. Bentancur could go, Sean. He could go. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, that would. I mean, to be honest, my
armband twice. He's not going anywhere.
My 2 favourite midfielders are Papsar and Rodrigo Bentancur. But there you are.
Them and
I could see them both go.
And Bergvall, you'd have 3. Then you've got 6 midfielders.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, this numbers game, because Maddison, as far as I'm concerned, until he actually can prove that he can stay relatively healthy for a good stretch, there's always going to be that risk. So Conor Gallagher is going to play a huge role until Xavi actually is fit and ready to come back. At that point, you can kind of deploy Conor Gallagher in different areas, for Fernandez and Tonali. But that being said, it's like if you sell one of them, you're going to be a little bit of a disadvantage because let's say that it's Lucas Bergvall, that makes Papsar maybe even a little bit more important to you, right? Or vice versa. And so from that standpoint, it's like, now we're having this numbers game with only so many weeks left in the window, and you don't want to go into the season without actually having some semblance of stability in the midfield, especially because we're not necessarily 100% sure we're going to get James Maddison for a full season. So from that standpoint, it's like selling one of these dudes is a little risky at this stage.
Yeah, the other thing for me,
he's only registered 25 players, right? That is the issue as well.
Right.
Go on, Sean.
The other thing is that we don't have what I like in midfield is what they call a lock picker, like an Ericsson, and we currently don't have a player of that sort.
You got Maddison,
but Maddison's got a hip injury, so they're saying.
Right.
And Simmons is out to the new year. Correct.
And when he comes back, we don't know how long it's going to take to regain his form.
So, that to me is a deficiency in our midfield, irrespective of the number of players we got. We've got an awful lot of players who are runners or, have a certain style of midfield, but I'm concerned that we don't have that lock picker in midfield, and that's what sometimes that's all you need to win a very tight game, especially against a low block.
100%.
Then we've only got 6 forwards if you class them all as forwards. Solanke, Richie, Tel, Odegaard is injured. Kudus and Kulusevski are probably back in the first month.
But the last 3 are all injured, aren't they? I mean, I must admit, I wasn't really overly impressed with that Kudus and Kulusevski video.
No?
I mean, kicking a ball into an empty net is not the same as being challenged. Huh?
No, it's not. No, it's not. But I was looking at the body language. He looked happy. They both looked happy to be out there, training on grass. Correct. So I'm looking at that. So we'll see. And we'll see when
Hopefully,
they test it. When they have games, we'll see. You got to wait.
You didn't have Mikey Moore a part of this list, did you?
No, I didn't put them in because he'd be going on loan.
Okay. Yeah, obviously this is going to be the area that we're going to have to improve.
He'll be staying with the under 21, so that might be a blessing for him. Williams he's 17.
The only, I guess you can say, the only saving grace is the fact that we have 2 strikers that are healthy and available, right? So if you're only able to get in 2 wingers, that's actually going to help immensely. Just considering you have to give runway for both Kudus and Kulusevski to get back into form and rejoin this first team. So you want to at least give them some runway so they can get back in. And so if you get a left winger and a right winger, at least you have 2 strikers that can start the season. You can try to address it in January.
I'm confident we're going to have a very good season. The reason I base it on the fact, because I know that we're going to get 2 more players in minimum, right? We're going to have to ship some out. The foreign quota has got to be got down to 17 by the end of this season anyway. So we're going to have to ship some out. Or not, if we can't get rid of them, loan them out. Because if they're not going to get game time here, and we haven't even mentioned loans. I know Real Madrid want to loan out Hendrick, right? But we haven't mentioned loaning any other senior players out. Right, so there's 7 comments to go on and we're done. What we got here? Oh, before that, guys, oh God, over 140 of you. I hate to shut a show down. We've got such good numbers. Yeah, if you like the content, you like what we bring to you on Spurs Diehards, please hit that red subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner and subscribe to the channel. It helps the algorithm. Our next show goes out Sunday. We will be doing debating Getafe, obviously. I'm not expecting any
counting how many people are in A&E.
yeah. How many have got prosthetic arms and legs, right?
Yeah.
Sunday show, Rain will be on, Harry Scarf will be on. Who's my other guest?
Yeah, Harry's a good guy. Harry's a good kid.
Yeah. So, Deji might be on. So we'll be debating the Getafe game anyway, and whatever. So so it describes. So there's some comments to go. Again, the show's been really good. Otherwise, I would have stopped it if we didn't have enough to talk about. Like, who's this? Yeah, I mean, I remember earlier in the season that they even mentioned Darwin Núñez and Tony as Spurs, but Tony slagged us off on Talkshite Radio, right? I get the feeling that when we were in for him, months and months ago, something didn't quite go right, So, and he ended up going out of Saudi. He was the last proper 9. Scott is never going to get a chance for this. No, unfortunately, no. He'll have a good career though, and he will score goals when he goes somewhere. He's a natural scorer. 25 senior pros, yeah. We've got more than that though, Ray. We have more. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, big up, Nita. Good friend of the show. I think Leslie could play Sarenberg. He likes him. He likes Callum Alusesi, does Deserby. So no doubt he'll have his eye on his progress. But then he picked up an injury.
Yeah, he's injured,
otherwise he would have got some pre-season because he likes him.
I was disappointed that I didn't see Tyrese Hall get any minutes.
I don't know what happened there. He had a bit of the rumour was that he's one player who thought, oh, I'm ready. And apparently him and Ange Postecoglou had words. That's what the rumour was. And so forth. He didn't get the time. And so he went out on loan to Notts County, didn't he? So did all right there as well. He is a ball carrier, though. If you haven't watched Torre, so I've seen him. He's looked brilliant. I've seen him when he's been off it completely. But he is a ball carrier, and he'll take the players on ball carrier going forward. So we'll probably sell him. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
If we have to loan players, then it will be late in the winter. Yeah, I agree, Rain. I agree, because then if as soon as you get Savinho and the permutations change, right? Okay, who's going out? Do we sell Tell? I mean, I like the kid and all that, but if he was sold, I wouldn't lose no sleep over it because he hasn't done enough. Boom! See what I did there, Steve? Okay. Yeah. Maybe I can see Mikey Moore and Williams Barnett getting some game time tomorrow. Clint Dempsey, yeah, he did a good job.
King of White Hart Lane, baby.
Yeah. Right, Steve.
I'm joking.
Link to his channel is in the comments, and I put the banner up for anyone watching us on playback, and the same for Alan. Sean hasn't got his own. Are you on XCOM, Sean? Are you on Facebook or anything like
that? Yeah, but
you avoid it. Like
I prefer to bring any wisdom, and there's very little of it in my case. I prefer to bring it here on a Friday night,
and in a WhatsApp group.
I think there are more able people in the WhatsApp group than myself.
So the 140 of you that stayed with us, we do have a WhatsApp group. I mean, you'd have to message me, Harry Scarf, or James the Drinker, with your phone number so we can add it to you. And then if you want to come on the show, right, that's fine. That's what we use the WhatsApp group for. So I message these guys, make sure they haven't got no other busy schedule or something to come out in life and they can't make it on the show. But like I say, you can find us on this moving ticker down the bottom. You can find us on XCOM, Facebook. We've got a massive Facebook group, but I think they avoid XCOM and YouTube like the plague. Yeah. And so you can find us, like I say, on YouTube, on Facebook, and XCOM, and we've got a WhatsApp group as well. Right, guys, it's been a very good show.
Yeah.
I'm going to end it and play you out a bit of music I wrote. I'll have to keep changing the music. I don't know what bit this is. Come on.
We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die, hearts, heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die, hearts, heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die, hearts, heart and soul. Willy white and navy blue. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die, hearts, heart and soul.